Hi everyone, I'm Mazwin and I'm the team leader for this group presentation. We are excited to be here today to share our assignment for DBA 5134, Contemporary Issue in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Our case study is called Reclaiming Market Dominance, a strategic analysis of Tesla's competitive challenges and entrepreneurial innovation in the EV industry. We'll be looking at how Tesla went from being a market leader to facing serious challenges and what they can do to bounce back. Before that, let me introduce you to the rest of the team.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosania. I'll be covering the section on understanding the case study and key issues of Tesla. I'll walk you through the Tesla's journey, what problems they're currently facing, and how those issues are affecting their position in the EV industry.
Hi, I'm Elango. I'll be diving into the application of theories and models where we'll connect Tesla's challenges with business frameworks like Porter's five forces and the resource-based view, so we can understand better what's really going on from a strategic perspective.
And I am Salina. I'll be taking us through the critical thinking and problem solving part of the case. I'll share our ideas on how Tesla can move forward using logical analysis and a few creative solutions.
Thanks, team. So now that you have met all of us, let's get into it. I'll start with a quick overview of our case study and a little bit of how Tesla got where it is today. This study builds on EBSCO article that highlighted Tesla's declining market share in the US, and we expanded that analysis to a global scale. What we have found is that Tesla is facing some real pressure. Vehicle deliveries dropped by 13% in the early 2025, their worst in years. A key reason? Rising competition, especially from BYD in China, plus Tesla relies heavily on Chinese battery supplies, about 40%, which introduces political and trade risk. And of course, Elon Musk's controversial public image hasn't helped, especially in Europe. Now, for a bit of background, Tesla began in 2003 to prove EV could be cool and practical. Musk came in 2004 and helped scale the company fast. From the Roadster to Model 3, they grew rapidly despite challenges. EV demand is blooming, with countries like Malaysia rolling out 10,000 chargers by 2025, so the road ahead still holds promise. Now, to walk us through the key challenges Tesla is currently facing and how they are impacting its performance, I'll hand it over to Razania.
Thank you, Mazwin. Hi everyone. This part of the study focuses on the main challenges Tesla is currently facing. To begin with, competition in the EV space has grown stronger. Tesla was once the undisputed leader thanks to its first mover advantage and groundbreaking technology. But that lead has narrowed significantly, while new players like BYD, Xiaomi, and Rivian are aggressively entering the market with faster innovation cycles. In fact, BYD overtook Tesla in the final quarter of 2023, producing more electric vehicles and introducing next-generation batteries that charge faster, offering 400 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. This directly challenges Tesla's position, especially in China and other fast-moving markets. Vertical integration, producing around 80% of its components in-house, used to be one of its strengths, but it's also made the company more vulnerable. Delays in the Berlin Gigafactory and issues with scaling up the 4,680 battery cell have led to significant production slowdowns. Tesla is also still heavily dependent on Chinese suppliers for key materials like lithium and cobalt, which creates exposures to geopolitical tensions, rising material costs, and global shipping disruptions. Another critical issue is pricing. Tesla's pricing strategy over the past couple of years has been extremely volatile. In 2023 and 2024, They slashed the price of the Model Y by nearly $20,000 in some markets. While this may have temporarily boosted demand, it has also damaged customer confidence and reduced resale value. More importantly, Tesla still hasn't delivered on the long-awaited 25,000 mass-market EV, while rivals like GM and Hyundai are already offering more affordable models like the Bolt and the Kona EV, both of which qualify for federal tax incentives in the US. According to a JD Power study in 2024, Tesla owners who bought their vehicles before the price cuts were 35% less likely to repurchase a Tesla due to the sharp drop in value. Finally, there are growing brand and leadership concerns. Elon Musk's leadership style and public presence have had both positive and negative effects. His controversial public statements and political involvement, especially since acquiring Twitter, have hurt Tesla's image. In March 2025 alone, Tesla's car sales in Germany dropped by over 42.5%, which many attribute to political backlash and declining brand sentiment. So, in summary, Tesla's current challenges are tied to four key areas: intensified competition, supply chain fragility, inconsistent pricing, and leadership reputation. Now that we've unpacked the what, it's time to explore the why and the strategic thinking behind Tesla's moves. To take us deeper into the applications of business theories and models and show us how they play out in the real world, I'm handing things over to Ellen Go, who's going to connect the dots through proven frameworks and strategic concepts. Ellen Go, over to you.
Thanks, Rosanna. All right, let's dive in. Applying core business theories to Tesla reveals exactly why they are facing their current headwinds. First mover advantage. Tesla owned the early EV space. Massive head start. But first mover advantage rarely lasts forever. And that dip below 50% US market share, it's textbook. Because the theory predicts exactly this vulnerability from pioneers. Competitors learned the game and are now seriously competing, which brings us to the second mover advantage. Competitors like BYD watched, learned, and now actively exploit the lessons Tesla learned the hard way, often outpacing them on cost or tech, potentially leapfrogging by leveraging Tesla's groundwork. Considering innovation, Tesla's initial product and process innovation was revolutionary, game-changing. But innovation must be constant. Critically, their recent pace appears more incremental, while some rivals are making aggressive leaps. And disruptive innovation, even starting premium, Tesla absolutely disrupted the entire auto business model. Sales, service, software focus, forcing legacy players to fundamentally change. Using Porter's five forces reveals intense competitive heat, fierce rivalry, rising buyer power, significant supplier risk, and the constant threat of new entrants. Their pricing strategy clearly signals a shift. Aggressive price cuts move them from a dominant blue ocean position towards a tougher red ocean reality. Fierce competition, price wars, hitting margins, and brand perception. Internally, the resource-based view showed the early vertical integration was a massive strength, but raw material dependency remains a vulnerability. And crucially, competitors are rapidly closing the supply chain efficiency gap. Finally, brand leadership. Elon Musk is the brand. High stakes reality. Visionary, yes, but unpredictable, a double-edged sword, impacting everything. Critical question isn't if, but how. The required leadership must evolve beyond its disruptive origins to navigating today's complex market. Stability is now essential. Pulling it together, this framework clearly shows a brilliant company at a critical strategic crossroad. Understanding that complexity is vital. A strategy must evolve constantly. And thinking about that evolution lead us perfectly to Salina. Salina, over to you.
Thanks, Elengo. Now let's talk about solutions. How Tesla can bounce back using a mix of critical thinking, innovation, and smart problem solving. Let's begin with what Tesla still does best: AI and full self-driving. Over 400,000 Teslas are running the FSD beta on real roads, giving Tesla a goldmine of real-world driving data. This kind of machine learning at scale is hard to replicate. Rivals like Waymo and Cruise are still working with a geofence test zones. Tesla is improving its system in real time, which is exactly what design thinking is all about. Test, iterate, refine. Of course, it's not perfect, and regulations are still catching up. But Tesla is ahead in this space. So here's a bold move. License FSD to other car manufacturers. I know it sounds risky, but it's actually strategic. Think of it like Android on smartphones. Tesla could become the operating system of autonomous driving. Instead of seeing rivals as threats, it turns them into partners. Three theories support this, turning the contradiction of protect versus scale into win-win opportunity. Now, let's talk about pricing. Tesla been all over the place. In 2023 alone, they slashed prices by up to 25%. While it may help more inventory, it also confused customers and hurt brand loyalty. Margin fell from 25% to 18%. Meanwhile, competitors like BYD and Xiaomi are offering stable pricing and great values, and buyers are noticing. Tesla needs to stop playing the red ocean game, fighting over price, and create its own blue ocean strategy. Instead of cutting prices, add value. Imagine bundling Tesla EV with Powerwalls or solar panels, creating a complete green lifestyle package. Offer flexible buying options too. Leasing, subscription models, or modular financing. It makes Tesla more accessible without making it feel cheap. Let's shift to supply chain. Tesla did well during COVID by rewriting code to work with new chips. That's agile thinking. But they are still over-dependent on one region, especially China, for critical materials. That's a geopolitical and operational risk. Tesla need to diversify, set up localized gigafactories, not just in US and Europe, but in Southeast Asia and Latin America too. Countries like Thailand and Malaysia are investing heavily in EV infrastructure. Producing closer to the market cut costs, dodge traffic tariffs, and boost delivery speed. It also builds stronger relationships with governments and communities. And speaking of factories, Tesla global expansion needs a smarter approach. Instead of just replicating the same model everywhere, Tesla should build modular, market-specific gigafactories. A Southeast Asian factory, for example, should focus on compact, affordable EV suited for city driving. This is exactly what BYD is doing, and it's working. Tesla should also partner with local governments and universities to train workers and co-develop innovations. This doesn't just improve production, it builds local goodwill, trust, and loyalty. Finally, let's talk leadership. Elon Musk is a genius, no doubt, but he's also unpredictable. His tweets can move markets and not always in a good way. Tesla needs a strong leadership bench, a CEO or president who can handle public communication and operations, while Elon focuses on vision and tech. Look at Apple post Steve Jobs. Tim Cook brought stability and ethics while keeping innovation alive. Tesla doesn't need to replace Elon. Just balance him with operational leadership that builds trust with investors, regulators, and global markets. To wrap up, Tesla doesn't need a total reinvention, but it does need a strategic pivot. By licensing FSD, stabilizing pricing, diversifying its supply chain, strengthening its leadership, and localizing its global expansion, Tesla can absolutely bounce back and do it stronger than ever. And with that, I'll pass it over to Mazwin, who'll close us out and take us through the key takeaways. Over to you, Mazwin.
Thank you so much, Rosania, Elengo, and Selena, for your sharp and insightful points. As we've seen today, Tesla is a turning point. The EV industry is moving fast, and with competition rising from all sides, Tesla must stay agile, focused, and forward thinking if it wants to maintain its edge. One key area is pricing. While discount may boost sales in the short term, they can damage brand trust. Tesla needs a more consistent pricing approach to build long term confidence and protect its premium identity. Beyond that, the road ahead depends on continuous innovation, ethical use of AI, and stronger governance. Tesla's next chapter isn't just about new tech, it's about trust, leadership, and smart global expansion. So, our message is clear: Tesla must act now and act boldly. And with that, we'd like to thank you, all of you, our lecturers, classmates, and viewers, for your time, support, and energy today. Now, before we officially close, let's open the floor to a few questions. And yes, we've picked some interesting ones from our audience too. So, Oja, Ilengo Sal, buckle up. You've got fans and they want answers. So, let's jump right in. Let's kick it off with the first question directed to Oja. Oja, in your section, you pointed out how Tesla's pricing volatility has shaken customers' trust and impacted brand equity. And I think a lot of us can relate to that as buyers watching prices yo yo month after month. So here's the question: what specific strategies would you recommend Teslas implement to stabilize pricing while still remaining competitive in emerging EV markets?
Thank you, Mazwin, for the question. Tesla should move away from short term discounting and adopt a value based pricing strategy. One smart move would be bundling EVs with lifestyle products like solar panels and power walls. This increases value without damaging price perception. Also, subscription and modular leasing options makes EV more accessible without undercutting the brand. Localizing production in markets like Southeast Asia through regional gigafactories can reduce cost pressure too. And lastly, Tesla needs to invest in predictive analytics to better align supply and demand so they avoid panic driven price cuts. All of this can help rebuild trust and preserve their brand image.
The next question will be for Ilango. So the presentation mentions the strong link between Elon Musk's personal image and Tesla's brand perception. If you are on Tesla's board, what leadership structure or communication strategy would you propose to mitigate brand risk?
Thank you, Mazwin. I'll propose Tesla move towards a dual leadership model with a solid, experienced COO or president to run the daily show and handle public messaging. Think like Apple did with Tim Cook. Have other key leaders become public faces for the company, sharing the stage with Elon. This could show stability and depth beyond just one person. Tesla should also rebuild a proper PR department. Right now, it's mostly Elon Street running the show. Not ideal. Promoting internal leaders as spokespersons and having crisis communication plans in place will help protect the brand, especially when Elon is juggling between SpaceX as Neuralink and who knows what's next.
And the last question is for Selena. Tesla's AI driven full self driving system is a key innovation. How can Tesla ethically leverage user data while staying ahead of regulatory standards?
Thank you, Mazin. That's a great one. So, Tesla FSD is cool, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? First, they need to be super transparent. How is the data collected? How is it anonymized? And how it's used? Second, work with regulators to build safety and privacy standards instead of dodging them. Bring in third-party auditors to check for bias or AI glitches. That builds public confidence. And lastly, offer opt-in programs where users can choose to share data and maybe get perks in return. Ethical AI isn't just a chatbot. It's how you win trust long term.
That was awesome. Thank you, Oja, Elango, and Sal, for that sharp insights. And thanks everyone for tuning in, especially those who sent in questions. Keep them coming. So, just to wrap things up, Tesla's not down and out, but it's definitely a turning point. As we've seen, the way forward isn't just about hardware or hype, it's about smart pricing, ethical AI, better leadership, and thinking beyond cars. It's about rebuilding trust while staying bold. We hope this presentation sparks some ideas, whether you're into innovation, strategies, or just wondering if FSD beta will ever stop slamming the brakes. On behalf of the team, thanks again for your time, your energy, your questions. Until next time, stay charged and stay curious.